What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here. Welcome to our daily show where we discuss everything going on here in our country that you need to know about here on a daily basis. In this video, I want to show you guys some congressional hearings with some alarming footage that's I want to show you guys here. If you guys know anything about this channel, I'm just dedicated to guys showing you guys the truth, no matter what side of politics it comes from here. And yeah, we got some crazy information here for you guys here in this video. So don't forget to like and subscribe to this YouTube channel if you haven't yet. It's completely free to do so. This way you won't miss out on new videos. First up, we're going to show you guys an interview or hearing between the FBI Director Christopher Wray, who was appointed by former President Donald Trump. He's the current FBI Director, and Republican Senator Ron Johnson, who was just reelected from Wisconsin, okay, questioning the FBI about several different things, including Hunter Biden. I want to show you guys that. And then after this, I'll show you an interview by Senator Joe Manchin as well. Got some crazy stuff here for you guys. So here we go. Let's jump right in and let me know your thoughts on this.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Director Wray, you made a comment here in answer to the chairman's questioning that you were committed to working with this committee. You'll excuse me if I find those words ring incredibly hollow. I had to subpoena you as chairman of this committee. I really didn't get anything. I've written repeated letters, either with no response whatsoever or a non-response response. It's one of the reasons, and I'm very grateful to all the whistleblowers that are coming forward to various committees, to various members, people of integrity within your organizations, blowing the whistle on the corruption at some of the highest levels of the FBI. First question, do you commit publicly that the FBI will not retaliate against those whistleblowers?
Senator, we will not retaliate against whistleblowers. I take the protections that are in law and regulation of whistleblowers extremely seriously.
Good, we'll hold you to that. Okay,
just like
next.
I take compliance with all of our other rules very seriously.
Senator Grassley wrote you a letter on July 25th of 2020 in which he said that whistleblowers to his office reported that FBI officials initiated a scheme to downplay derogatory information on Hunter Biden for the purpose of shutting down investigatory activity related to his potential criminal exposure by labeling it, quote, disinformation. Boy, that's a familiar term. That scheme was hatched in August of 2020. Also included, he said, in August 2020, FBI supervisory intelligence analyst Brian Auten opened an assessment which was used by FBI headquarters team to improperly discredit negative Hunter Biden information as disinformation and cause investigative activity to cease. Have you responded to Senator Grassley's letter that he wrote over 3 months ago?
Senator, I know there have been a whole slew of letters. I believe we've responded to a number of them, but sitting here right now, I can't tell you which ones we've responded to and which ones.
Have you looked into those charges that there was a scheme hatched in August 2020 to downplay the derogatory information on Hunter Biden? Have you looked into that personally?
We have, as we speak, a number of personnel matters that are underway, and as reasons I'm sure you can appreciate, we can't discuss.
Well, I know that's always your excuse.
Matters.
No, I got it. I understand how you remain above the law by using that excuse repeatedly. The reason I'm a little sensitive on August 2020 is that on August 6th, both Senator Grassley and I received an unsolicited briefing by members of the FBI, which I knew immediately was a setup. No new information whatsoever. I knew it was a setup, and I was correct because 9 months later, on May 1st, it was leaked to the Washington Post to smear me. I have written you publicly a number of times asking who directed that briefing. Are you prepared to tell me in public who directed that briefing now?
Senator, first off, I can't discuss specific defensive briefings more broadly, and that's a longstanding practice.
So tell me then, why have you refused to meet with us to privately tell us who directed that briefing?
So, if I may finish my answer to the question. It's longstanding practice not to discuss specific defensive briefings. We have, as my understanding, responded in writing to a letter that you sent. I think
it's bureaucratic gobbledygook is what that is. That's not a response.
We offered in that letter to provide a senior executive of the FBI to walk through in detail our process.
What your process is, but not specifically who directed a briefing that was used to smear me. Have you looked into the leaking of that briefing to the Washington Post? Have you investigated that?
I'm not going to discuss specific investigations. As to the briefing question and who directs it, let me be very clear about this. When it comes to election-related defensive briefings, there is not a single person who makes that decision. That is an interagency process that was set up by the prior administration, signed off on by the former president.
Well, there are
Office of the Director.
There are persons in that interagency, correct? So there would be persons. So we should know who those persons are. Why won't you tell us who directed that briefing? The persons, then.
I would refer you to the process that was put in place, and we can give you more information about the process if you would like.
Have you read Senator Grassley's and my report on Hunter Biden's corruption, issued in September of 2020 and November of 2020? Have you read those reports?
I have had a chance to look at it.
Do you see any sign of Russian disinformation in those reports?
That would be a hard question for me to answer.
No, it's very easy. It's very easy.
What I would say to
it's a very easy answer. There is no Russian disinformation. That report is completely clean of any interference of foreign influence, although we have been falsely accused, including by the chairman of this committee, of spreading Russian disinformation. Are you aware of the FBI having any involvement whatsoever in the October 19, 2020 public statement by 51 former intelligence officials?
I'm not aware of any involvement by the FBI in what you're describing.
The reason I ask is, if it's true that in August of 2020, the FBI initiated a scheme to downplay derogatory information on Hunter Biden, it would seem like maybe part of that scheme would be to get intelligence officials to issue a letter that stated that the laptop had all the earmarks of a Russian information operation. That was totally false. We now know that the Hunter laptop is completely authentic. Why won't you tell us who directed that briefing? The persons, then.
I would refer you to the process that was put in place, and we can give you more information about the process if you would like.
Have you read Senator Grassley's and my report on Hunter Biden's corruption, issued in September of 2020 and November of 2020? Have you read those reports?
I have had a chance to look at it.
Do you see any sign of Russian disinformation in those reports?
That would be a hard question for me to answer.
So let me know your thoughts here on this. A lot of questioning on the FBI, and now that the Republicans control the House of Representatives, they've already said they're going to be investigating Hunter Biden and Joe Biden over their business dealings. And Kevin McCarthy said that, make no mistake, this is actually going to be an investigation of President Biden. And we will see where this is going to be going and what the Republicans are going to be investigating here in 2023. Next up, I'll show you a hearing that just happened with Democratic Senator Joe Manchin and the Energy Board. Take a listen to this. Let me know your thoughts on this.
My first question would be, it's pretty simple, yes or no. Do any of you believe that the United States of America can be energy independent within the next 10 years without a robust clean fossil energy program?
No, Mr. Chairman.
No, sir.
No, sir, I do not.
Mr. Crane, I support an all-the-above approach to energy policy and believe in order to ensure energy security that we cannot eliminate fossil, and I'm glad to hear you all feel the same way. And we have to focus on the cleanest way possible to decarbonize. We understand that. The Energy Act of 2020 did that, helped us. The Bipartisan Infrastructure Investment Jobs Act and the Inflation Reduction Act that we just passed is investing heavily in carbon capture utilization and storage. This included authorizing and funding CCUS demonstration projects with 2 required on coal-fired power plants. In your role as Undersecretary, Mr. Crane, you will be tasked with implementing these programs. You were previously quoted saying the coal industry has missed the boat on its opportunity to decarbonize. Can you explain your views on coal and CCUS in the domestic and global energy mix now and in the future?
Thank you for the question, Mr. Chairman. Like you, I believe in all the above. I believe that domestic coal is a fundamental part of the energy mix of the United States. I applaud the actions that Congress has taken, particularly the carbon capture, utilization, and sequestration, the 45Q, and I can tell you from being in the private sector that those provisions are catalyzing a response that I think is going to be very good for the industry. And finally, and most importantly, and directly in answer to your question, without qualification, without exception, I can tell you that I will implement the coal-related provisions of these bills with the same vigor that I implement every other provision.
That was the final part of my question, so you got ahead of me on that one. I appreciate it, because I was going to say, will you commit to carrying out the CCUS?
Absolutely.
Okay. And I have another one for you, sir. You're currently overseeing an implementation of $9.5 billion in funding to supercharge the hydrogen economy, including $8 billion for several hydrogen hubs. As you know, the infrastructure law requires at least 2 of the hubs to be located in major natural gas producing regions, such as the Appalachia in West Virginia. So we're very excited for this program to be put to good use. It also requires at least one of the hubs to demonstrate clean hydrogen derived from fossil fuels. So, although the Department of Energy hasn't selected the winners for hub funding yet, can you talk about the hydrogen hub investment and how it's changed the landscape in terms of the U.S. leadership in hydrogen around the world?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I would love to do that. As you said, the hydrogen solicitation is underway, and the first thing I can tell you is that there's been an extremely enthusiastic response from across the country, and you know, as you pointed out, the bill requirements require geographic diversification, fuel input diversification, and end-use diversification, and we're confident that we'll get proposals from around the country that will fit all those needs.
What type of activity are you seeing coming in from the world? I'm hearing so much about what's going on because we're committed.
As it happened, I was recently with some old friends who are involved in hydrogen development in Europe, where the European Union and the UK are being active. And one of the things that they're saying is that multinational companies are actually moving their hydrogen programs to North America because of the actions of this Congress.
Let me say, we're concerned about blue hydrogen also, which comes from gas, okay? And how you all are implementing that, and are you committed to as required by law, to work that one too? Because the green comes from renewables, as we know, but the blue can be green from gas if it's if it's sequestered, correct?
We are absolutely committed to the blue and the green provisions, and once the hydrogen gets into the system, as you know, a lot of it's about the infrastructure that comes downstream from the production of the hydrogen. So again, we will faithfully implement every provision of.
The thing I'm so excited about hydrogen was this, and the reason I've been so doubling down on everything on hydrogen is because we are not, and we would never have to be, dependent on foreign supply chains for energy, because we can produce all the hydrogen, clean hydrogen that we ever need in our country.
Yeah, so as you can see here, the U.S. is going to need multiple different types of fuels and energy going forward. It's just something we absolutely need to do. We're going to need oil, we're going to need diesel, we're going to need alternate energy, solar, hydrogen, and diesel, all these different things we're going to need going forward. And with the ever rising cost of fuels just getting out of control. You can let me know your thoughts here in the comment section. It's just unbelievable. Unbelievable. So let me know your thoughts here in the comments. I'll keep you up to date here on our YouTube channel. Make sure to click the subscribe button down below if you haven't yet. It's completely free to do so. Remember, new videos come out here on our YouTube channel every day at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'll keep you up to date here with everything going on here in our country that you need to know about here on a daily basis. You can click here to watch my newest video next, and you can click here to see my newest video about checks going out to millions of Americans that you might not even know about. So click on one of those videos next. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.